Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 10 at Belmont Park on Saturday, has $1 million purse. Let's throw up the field for the Jockey Club Derby. 3-year-olds going a mile and a half on the Widener turf. We have 8 entered for this $1 million race. Beer is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Why not? Everything Charlie Appleby seems to send to North America this year for Godolphin, they seem to run like their hair's on fire.
Yeah, he's definitely finding the right horses to bring over. I think he might have found another one of those here, Dan. I mean, his recent form is good. At the end of the day, when you start, taking this field apart, it's at least in my opinion, it's just not that strong a field.
Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. I wouldn't expect there to be a ton of pace in here. And when I see Bolshoi Ballet on the lead, I'm thinking there may not be a fast pace. Now, I know Bolshoi Ballet was close to the pace last time, and a solid pace it was at that in the Saratoga Derby. I wonder if that's going to be the plan for Aidan O'Brien. I wonder if they like him better when he has a target or two and he can unleash kind of a mid-race or 3-furlong burst, because he has that kind of burst of speed.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with him here. I was personally surprised that he went forward in the Saratoga Derby last time. And all in all, I guess it didn't work out for them. So maybe they'll try to take him back again this time. I guess if they do that, the question becomes, who is going to be up there on the lead? Because this is another race that doesn't have a ton of pace. I guess the one, Tango, Tango, Tango.
That's who I'm going to guess is going to make the front, even with the blinkers off. Tango, Tango, Tango. Very lightly raced for Jack Sisterson, close to a moderate pace last time out in the Bruce D at Arlington. He ran okay. It seems like he is improving. He's going to have to improve a little bit more. He's taken a big step up.
I agree. He looks like a few other horses in this field that, maybe they're lightly raced enough that they could take a step forward here and sort of make an impact in a very rich race. Again, they're not meeting, the toughest horses in the world. This horse, to me, is just fine. I mean, when I watched that Bruce D back, I certainly didn't want to bet him back in a tougher race. I mean, he got a great trip in there, sitting on a slow pace, had the lead in the stretch, wasn't good enough.
Watching Yabir early in his career, he was a horse that wanted to be up close to the pace, or at least that's how they rode him. It seems like they've made a concerted effort in recent starts to take him off the pace. We've seen the results, 2 group stakes wins, including a victory last time out at York, a course that kind of closely resembles some of the American racetracks.
Yeah, true enough. He ran well last time, just, saved all the ground, sitting back off the pace, needed some room there in the stretch. He got it. He had a really good finish to win that race pretty easily. I thought his win 3 back was, sort of similar. They just sort of let him sit and they wait and wait and wait. And that pack tightened up a little bit, but he got a nice split down towards the inside. He was much the best in there too. He stays, Dan. He ships over here. He does not meet a strong field. I think if he gets any kind of a trip in here, he's going to be very tough.
Number 3 is Tokyo Gold, winner of the Italian Derby 2 starts back. This horse has run once in North America. Good second in the Belmont Derby. Mike, he was kind of taken back off a very slow pace that day. He closed well, just didn't have Bolshoi Ballet's acceleration. I think he's going to appreciate stretching out even more in distance. I'd love to see him get a little bit closer to the pace. I don't know if he has it in him.
I don't know if he does either. We'll see what kind of trip he can pull in here. I thought he ran okay in the Belmont Derby, Dan. I really liked the ride that Johnny V gave him that day, because they did take him back off the pace early, but he just put this horse right behind Bolshoi Ballet and basically followed that horse around the track, took him clear in the stretch. He didn't have Bolshoi Ballet's kick in there, but he was staying on to the end. Maybe more distance works for him. I know it was only an Italian group two starts back, but he was pretty impressive winning that race.
Last on the rail trips rarely work out in big, bulky turf fields, but it almost did for Soldier Rising in the Saratoga Derby. Let's watch that race right now. Soldier Rising didn't break well from the rail like many European imports. You see him in the yellow silks. He's last on the inside, and it appears that Arad Ortiz is just going to have nowhere to go. And Arad spies the open inside corridor, and here he comes, and it's clear sailing. Soldier Rising's got a big look at this, and Mike Beer's best bet of the day at 21-1's too much horse for him late.
I thought this horse actually ran well in here. He really did get some kind of trip and ride from Irad Ortiz, though. I mean, everything really worked out for this horse. They rated him back at the start. Maybe they won't rate him this time, Dan, because he did have more tactical speed over in France, and maybe they'll go forward this time and just try to keep him a little closer.
Barclay Tagg is a very talented New York bred up next. That's the 5-step dancer who's going to get a major class test. But just watch the way he polished off this field at Saratoga. Field of New York breds, granted. Watch him close. He's going to get to the outside. He's in sort of the brownish silks with the white sleeves. And once he gets clear air and changes leads right there, check out this explosive finish. He's flying home.
Yeah, this is a really strong kick in this race. It's only against New York breds, but I don't think that matters. This is a horse who, as a 2-year-old, was grade 2 placed, a stakes winner versus Open Company. Personally, I was never a big fan of this horse as a 2-year-old or when he came back off the layoff earlier this year, but I feel like there's a real chance that he's starting to improve by a lot. His race 2 starts back was really good. They cut him back in distance. He had to alter course. He finished just like that. The race we just saw, Dan, it was just too late. He was really impressive last time. I don't know if he wants to stretch out this far, but he's in good form.
Experience, the number 6, is an interesting entrant for high percentage trainer Jonathan Thomas. He has a lovely pedigree. I like the way he won his career debut at Delaware. He beat 4 next out winners. He seemed a little bit green in doing so, but once he got on track late, he was running on. In the Bald Eagle Derby, he looked very tough on paper, but he was taken far back in a race with no pace, and he just got wired despite running on at the end. What did you make of his Virginia Derby effort last time out?
I didn't love it, but I also don't know that I feel like he got the right trip in that race. And maybe it wasn't going to matter, but he was just wide every step of the way in there, widest of all around the second turn, as the winner, Wooten Asset, who was a horse who had finished behind him in his prior start, or had finished, just behind him in his prior start, saved all the ground, got the in-out run, and won the race. I didn't like the trip this horse got last time. He's another one who's so lightly raced that you could project improvement for him, and he will have to improve.
The number 7 Slick Back finished ahead of Experience last time out in the Virginia Derby. It appears this horse is slowly taking steps forward for trainer Brad Cox. He'll need to show continued improvement. I wouldn't be surprised if it's there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. He's one of those horses, that's light on experience, that has some potential. I thought his win in his turf debut 2 back was only okay. I mean, it was just sort of more game than anything else. He ran fine last time. He wasn't as good as the winner in there, but he was racing on to the end.
Bolshoi Ballet really impressed us when he won that Derriston Stud Derby trial back in May. Just made this nice burst with 3 furlongs to go to completely take command of that field and put it to bed. Wasn't there for him in the Epsom Derby, had some problems, caught soft ground. The Belmont Derby, he was just too much kicking on in the lane, and maybe he was just too close to the fast pace last time out. And this race will be run at a more leisurely clip, and it'll help his acceleration.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, that's certainly a viable excuse for him that they, wound up going forward last time. And maybe it's enough of an excuse that you want to go back to him. Personally, I just don't feel like he ran that great last time. And I didn't, at the price he's going to be in here, I didn't want to start making excuses for him, Dan. I just didn't love his effort last time. And as much as, he won clear at the end of the Belmont Derby, I don't know. Was he really that impressive in that race? I don't know. I know this horse is good. I know he can win this race at a short price. I'm going to look elsewhere.
Top pick time for the Jockey Club Derby. Same exacta for us, different order. You're going with Yabir, the European entrant. For Godolphin, he should be running hard in the stretch.
Yeah, again, I just feel like maybe they've shipped him over and found the right spot, Dan. He's in good form. Distance is no problem for him, and I just don't think he meets a tough field.
And while Soldier Rising did have a lot of things go his way in that last race, he also ran hard in the stretch. It was a pretty good horse that beat him. I think he's going to make another good showing for the connections here. 4217 for me, 2485 for Mike. Jockey Club Derby, one of 2 huge races on the turf for 3-year-olds at Belmont on Saturday. Good luck.